Hello and welcome back for another episode of Oblivion, heavily modded in 2021. We're playing Martin de Chateau, a retired Imperial veteran, now going around helping out the good citizens of Tamriel, namely in Cyrodiil. Today we're going to be doing a quest involving necromancers. It's one that I hadn't ever completed until recently. And the recording of it didn't come out very well, so I'm re-recording it. I think it'll be fun. It doesn't pay very well directly, but items that we'll get from the lair make it worth it, I believe. Now, it's off northeast of the Imperial City, so we'll be traveling along the Blue Road. We are decked out in Imperial plate armor and have two magic weapons. I think I forgot to hotkey the sword. We've got Rock Shatterer, the mace, and which is a Dwemer mace, enchanted with shock damage. We've also got Chindrill, which does frost damage, and we've got Winter Splinter for dealing with mages, which we actually will be during this quest, so we might pull that out. You can see the game's looking pretty good. There's a giant spider off that way. And I do kind of like that about the creature diversity mod. It does add in several new unique enemies that really makes this game seem more fantasy. I mean, can you imagine what it would be like to have dog-sized spiders running around? I mean, I'd hate it. I hate spiders. But it is unique. Actually, I think that's worth money. So, you've probably heard the news by now, but they have hinted at where Elder Scrolls 6 will be based. I believe they released like a Twitter image saying the past, the future, and the present of the Elder Scrolls. And it had a map of Skyrim, a map of High Rock, the land of the Bretons, and it had, I believe, just above the map of Skyrim, it had a book on Cyrodiil from the old Elder Scrolls online game. And then there were 3 candles lit in this image. One was on Solitude, the capital of Skyrim. One was placed on the map of High Rock, and one was placed on the book on Cyrodiil, along with 4 coins. Now, I've heard different interpretations on this, but the most common one seems to be that the candles represent the past, present, and future of the Elder Scrolls games, with the candle on the Book of Cyrodiil with the 4 coins representing the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and that would be the game's past. The present one on Solitude would represent the latest solo game in the Elder Scrolls, which would be Skyrim. And then the final candle in High Rock, implying that the game is going to be, the next game is going to be based in the land of the Bretons, which would be interesting, since it sounds like a very interesting setting. I get the impression of it's kind of like the Highlands of Scotland, only with a lot of feuding lords, you know, a culture of powerful magic users, conjurers. The Bretons also are basically the half-elves of the Elder Scrolls games. They descended from humans from Skyrim, who went and interbred with a race of elves. I'm not sure what the name of the Mer were called, that were living in the location that High Rock is currently. And then later on, after the humans drove the Aliads out of Cyrodiil, the Aliads took up residence in High Rock as well and started breeding with the elves and men there. So they have a lot of elvish blood in them. So they're powerful spellcasters. They're a little lighter build. I think it could be a very interesting setting. However, I can see another interpretation of that map. I believe some of the earlier games...
Pay up, or else.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Actually, that's the way this one prefers it.
Oh, damage my luck. Oh well. So the interpretation that I could see would be that one of the earlier games was based in High Rock. I believe it was Daggerfall? I think that was the name of it. It was, I think, the last of the games before I started playing the Elder Scrolls games. But it might have been its expansion set, Redguard. One of them was based in High Rock. And then the Elder Scrolls 4 would be representing the future, which was the game that they were about to release when they released that image on Twitter, which was the Gates of Oblivion expansion set for Elder Scrolls Online. And then Skyrim would still be the present game. You know, if that's the case, then they weren't hinting at what Elder Scrolls 6 was, but instead at the latest of the Elder Scrolls Online games.
How do you do?
Hello.
Hello.
Any new books you've been reading?
And when I first came here, I was certain that these guys were waiting to mug me somewhere in this quest, but they don't seem to be. They might be attached to some other quest.
It's been a while since I've read it myself. I don't know how to make this request any simpler, but to put it bluntly, Raylan the Gravefinder must die.
You got to respect how blunt the Nords are in this game. Who's Raylan the Gravefinder?
A few months ago, that witch of a necromancer decided to inhabit Moss Rock Cavern just north of my inn. I don't know what she does in there. Frankly, I don't want to know. However, I do know that after she arrived, the woods at night became unsafe. I've seen undead of all types walking in the dark woods near the cave entrance. Now this area is getting a bad reputation, and my business has waned. Every day, it seems the number of undead increase. If someone can get into the cave and kill Raylan, maybe we can stem the tide. Her death pays a handsome bounty. I hope you'll take advantage of the opportunity.
She's committed a crime, then she'll pay with her blood.
Raylan will finally
To
get
quote
what's
the
coming.
rest of the Imperial Legion. Now her lair is not actually that far, it's just up the hill a little bit here. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the news of Elder Scrolls 6. Not sure the quality of it. Bethesda, I believe, is undergoing a transition right now with Microsoft purchasing it. I also don't recall hearing whether or not it was getting its own game engine, or if it was going to really use the same one that Fallout 4 and I believe Skyrim used. But we'll find out soon enough, I imagine. I also heard Bethesda was getting sued because their Creation Club content, though being DLC, is not being included in the season pass that many gamers purchased. And the wording for the season pass was that owners of it would have access to all future Fallout 4 expansion sets, DLC, and yet they don't get access to any of the Creator Club content. Apparently that was a summoning. Stinks. I don't like wasting my time on summonings. Now, I love fighting high elves with magic. They have like a 50%, I think, weakness to magic in the Elder Scrolls 4. So, if you can get past their summonings, they're actually pretty easy to take out. Ultimately, we want to go through here, through the locked door, but it's got a hard lock, and I've only got a handful of lockpicks, and I've only got like 6 in my lockpick skill, which is pretty lame. So I'm actually going to go try to find the key. I think that's a Brit. If it is, he's going to be pretty resistant to magic. Might actually be an Imperial. Yeah, I think he was an Imperial, but it's hard to tell. His voice might have actually been that of the Breton voice actor. They've only got a handful of voice actors, and they seem to have divided them mostly in this game up by race. So the guy who does the Imperials also does, like, Sheogorath. I believe they had one male voice actor do all the elves, and one female voice actress do all the female elves. So, not an enormous cast. I think they did a better job with the voice acting in Skyrim. I think most people agree with me on that. Now, these are some new monsters added by the Creature Diversity mod. I think they're like remnants. They're beefy. They actually have really short range. Should probably be using fire against them. A lot of the undead have a weakness to fire. Zombies, for example, do. Skeletons are actually have a weakness to shock in this game. A lot of the Daedra have a weakness to shock as well. Cold is actually the least useful of the elemental damage types in this game, as I can only think of maybe one enemy off the bat that has weakness to cold, and that's the Flame Astronaut. I'm not picking up on any strong weakness in these enemies. Undead Knights, that's what they are. They look a bit like Draugr. That one's got like a goatee. Anyway, let's see. More torches.
Huh? Where did you go? Come out when I can see you.
Sounds like another spellcaster. And it's a high elf. Good. Usually pretty easy to take out. Magic. She seems to have gotten wise to my shock damage. The shock shield spell that she just cast gives her both resistance to shock and some retribution damage in the form of shock when I strike her, but it's not enough to save her. This Spike Club is added by the Imports of Vonderfall mod, which adds some weapons that look similar to how they were in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. She had it poisoned. This is a club that you can get in Morrowind. It's not bad looking. I believe it's a reskin by Insanity. This is a statue of Narmina, the Daedric Prince of nightmares. I know you can find a story. It's like a series of stories that you can find in the Shivering Isles expansion set that talks about the different Daedra princes attempting to challenge Sheogorath, and each of them, of course, fail. And Narmina does it where she believes that she should be the prince of insanity as well. And she enters some sort of bet with Sheogorath where she bets that she can drive this man insane. And Sheogorath claims that he'll be able to do it. And they each get, I think it's 6 months in which to accomplish the task. And she sends nightmares to this man. Horrible nightmares. And he's a writer, so he starts writing about the nightmares. And they're so graphic and so terrible that his writings make him very famous in sort of a twisted way. He becomes reviled by people, but at the same time they crave his writing. And at some point, when the 6 months are up, she stops sending him nightmares, and it's supposed to be Sheogorath's turn to drive him insane. And nothing happens. The guy loses his ability, his nightmares, his writings are no longer interesting, people start to revile him, he starts becoming more and more blasphemous. Okay, I believe Rayla is a Breton, which means that magic's not going to work as well against her.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
I've slain Raylan the Gravefinder. I should return to Maylene at the Roxy Inn and deliver the good news. Dang. I'm gonna pop a potion. I need to get a better healing spell. Pop 2 actually. And then switch to some attack magic. I believe that is a high elf. Dang, missed. So the fire magic has a chance of knocking you off your feet, as it did just there. That can be really decimating early on. I think it's a pretty small chance though of happening. Got him. So as I was saying, nothing happened to him when it came to Sheogorath's turn. He stopped having the nightmares. He became bitter because as the nightmares went away, so did his inspiration for his writings. He became very blasphemous, speaking out against the 9 divines. Eventually, he criticized a nobleman who had him put to death. And in the end, Narmina thought that she had won, that Sheogorath had not done anything to drive the man insane. But Sheogorath explained that she was wrong, that by taking away the source of attention that the man craved, Sheogorath had, in fact, driven him insane. I thought that was an interesting tale. Another good one about challenge against her sign, but I think I'll save that until we're doing the Shivering Isles expansion set, and I've actually read the book more recently, so that I get all the details. Right. I hate that you have to pick up that plate there in order to get the gems. Now, I had a lot of trouble calling this Daedra Prince's name. I believe it's Molag Bal, the Prince of Corruption, created like the vampires. I think he's often depicted as being sort of a part wolf, you know, part man creature. let's open this lock. Switch to my keyboard for this. My mouse pad doesn't do a very good job. Almost died a few times in that quest, and spent a few more potions than I would have liked, but do what you gotta do. Probably would have been easier if I'd remembered Winter Splinter, or Wit Splinter, and used that against some of the spellcasters, but oh well. Let's see how the innkeeper rewards.
What is
Man
it?
who
What's the
saved
news
your
from the
business.
other parts of Tamriel? I assume you've dealt with Raylan appropriately.
She's pushing daisies as we speak.
I realize it's in poor taste to celebrate anyone's demise, but Raylan was evil through and through. You've done the right thing. I believe we had a contract. Here's my part.
45 gold. Oh, I'm rich.
Well met.
I think instead of spending half of that reward renting a bedroll at her place, I'll go find somewhere where it's free to rest. And that'll be it for this episode. We'll be back soon with another one. I have something special planned for future episodes, but I was having trouble getting the recording to work. But you'll see what I'm talking about soon, I hope.